Hey, welcome to Cavern City Outdoors. My name is Jeremy Fuentes, and today I'm going to show you how I change my oil on my 2021 F-250 6.7 Powerstroke Tremor. Let's do it. All right, before we get started, I wanted to go over what you're going to need. You're going to need 13 quarts of oil. I use the T6 5W40 full synthetic. It seems to be pretty popular. I normally use the Motorcraft FL-2421-S oil filter, but for some reason I can't find them. I don't know what's going on. I can't find one anywhere. So there is a replacement. It's an FL-2124-S. It's supposed to work just fine. You want some paper towels for cleanup, a funnel when you go to put your oil in, a 16mm wrench, and a filter wrench. Now what I like about big trucks is to capture the oil, I'm going to use a 5-gallon bucket. Should work just fine. All right, without further ado, let's get started. All right, we're going to start by taking off the oil cap. All right, put it to the side. As you can see, your 5-gallon bucket will slide right here from the back, and then go ahead and push it forward. It fits right back there pretty easily. All right, I'll take the 16mm wrench and I will break loose the oil pan bolt. It shouldn't be too tough. And I'll just try to break it loose, and I will keep the 5-gallon bucket nearby so it looks like it's loosened up. Now the oil is hot, so you want to be careful at this point. So it will shoot out. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to try not to make a mess. The good part about the bucket is it's pretty high up, so when this oil shoots out, it should contain it all. Alright, just about there, and there she goes. Alright. Now what I'll do is I'll just let this oil continue to drain. Keep an eye on it. Sometimes once it gets low, you may have to push the bucket back just a little bit. Once all the oil's out, I'll go ahead and come in here and try to wipe off around it. If I sit here and let it continue to drip, it'll probably drip for several hours. So give it a good wipe down. I'm going to take the bolt and I'll place it back up in there and get it most of the way in, at least hand tight. And last little wipe. Now I'll go ahead and get this 5-gallon bucket out of the way. All right, with the bucket out of the way, I'll come back here and make sure it's pretty clean. The bottom of my truck isn't clean. And I'm going to come back with the wrench. I'm going to snug it up. All right. So for the filter, I did go ahead and grab another catch pan. From my experience, it gets a little messy taking off these filters. Now I've heard of somebody using a punch and hammer and poking a hole in the bottom of the filter and letting it drain. I've never seen it done, and I can't find my punch right now, so it's not something I'm going to do. It's definitely something to think about, though. You'll see when I pull this off. But you know, if you've done it or you know how to do it pretty good, then you know, drop a comment below and maybe help us out. Maybe I'll try it next time. So where you want to grab it with the filter wrench is you want to grab it towards the top. That's where it's the strongest. If you grab it on top, it's a little bit more solid. You just want to kind of break it loose, and it'll start leaking pretty quick. So this one's coming off good. Let's see here. I just want to get it to where I can start working it with my hand. All right, I think I'm about there. Let's pull that wrench off. Okay, get that bucket up there. Last time I did this, I used a 5-gallon bucket, and I dropped the filter in the bucket, and it splashed oil everywhere. I was covered in head to toe. All right, we got some oil coming out. And there she goes. That was a lot better than last time. All right, I'll let that drain out a little bit, and let's go prep the new filter. All right, while I'm letting the rest of that oil run out, what I'll do is I'll prime the new oil filter I'm going to use. So I'll take the filter out. I'll make sure that the O-ring looks good, and I use the box. I put it in there upside down, and take some oil here. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and slowly pour some in there. All right, now we're ready to go put the filter in. It stopped draining out of the filter housing. Now we're gonna wipe off the rim, try to get nice and cleaned up. Make sure that the O-ring from your previous oil filter came off. This one did not. That would have been bad. All right, after it's nice and clean, you want to pull out your primed oil filter. Put her up there. And you want to put it on hand tight. All right, we're hand tight. Now you want to get your filter wrench, and you want to go 3/4 to 1 full turn past hand tight. Okay, we should be there. Hey, I wanted to take a quick break real quick and say if you're liking this video, mash that subscribe button. Or if you like fishing, do a lot of fishing. We have a lot of good content coming out in 2023 you don't want to miss. All right, we'll get back to it. All right, now that we have the oil pan bolt back in place and the oil filter primed, it's time to start adding the oil. So the first one I'm using, this is 2.5 gallons. You can just dump it in. That's pretty much 10 quarts, I believe. So you can dump it all in. You do want to go a little slow, that way you don't spill it all over your engine. Okay, so we got about 10 quarts in there. It looks like when we primed the oil filter, it took just a little bit under a quart. So we want to add about 2 quarts, and we'll start the engine, we'll let it run a cycle, and then we'll check it again. All right, we're sitting pretty perfect. So after this, you do want to make sure to go check the drain bolt and the oil filter and make sure there are no leaks. So the last step, to reset your oil light here, you're gonna go over to truck info, down to maintenance monitor, to oil life, and here you'll just press OK and hold to reset. Back to 100%. Hey, if you have any questions about this video or have some input on a different way to do something, drop it down in the comments. If you haven't already, mash that subscribe and like button. I want to thank you for watching the Cavern City Outdoors channel. Now it's time to go fishing.